This training is meant to give you a quick run through of how I personally do second call presentations with prospects who have gone through my funnel. They have landed on my video page. They have viewed the videos, the CC1, CC2, CC3 video, and they have filled out a form and they're getting back to me because they're interested. And so now I'm giving them the second interview and we're finding out what level that they're interested to come in at. What I like to do to make sure this call goes very smoothly is number one, you have to have your script down pat. You need to have practiced that at least 10 to 20 times. Make sure you know how it goes. Make sure you know where to take people inside of your website, inside of the dashboard and other places when you're making the presentation. You want that to flow smoothly and comfortably. And you want to have your convictions and your voice be such that they feel excitement about the things that you're presenting because you feel excitement about the things you're presenting. So with that preparation in mind, how I approach that call to make it go as smoothly as possible is before I even call the prospect back, I make sure I have the following websites open, okay? And we'll run through them in order, but the other thing I want to make sure I emphasize is I do not recommend you varying very much from the scripts that I have sent to you to use with your prospects. The reason being is those scripts are proven over years of success by the top performer in the call center to be the most effective and to get the best results. You can, as you go along and get better and get more familiar with them, you can personalize them in certain ways. You're going to need to share your information, your background to make a connection with the people you're talking to, that type of thing. That's the level of modification I would recommend. A whole lot more than that I would not recommend. Stick with the current scripts, the current proven script that I have sent you. So I'll show you how I start and the different modifications I have done. Then you can move forward as you please. So but before I even call the prospect, I make sure I have the following websites open, and I also make sure I have my join.me session ready to go with an email already prepared. So when I call that person, I have their email, I have view my screen, and I have the link ready to go. So when I call and they get on the phone, we start chit-chatting, a little bit of ice breaking. And while that's happening, I click this link and I send them the message. Okay, it blips up in their email while we're talking. And then I tell them, look, I've sent you a link. I want you to click on the button so you can view my screen. And it's all nice and seamless. They click on the link. This whole process can take a handful of minutes, and it can kind of bog down the call if you're not prepared. If you have to come in here and click on do all this stuff to log in to join me and take the time to generate the link and then take the time to do the email and then take the time to send it, that's all it bogs down the call. So be prepared ahead of time to have this ready so it's just one click of the button when you get the person on the phone, and within a minute or two, they're able to see your screen. So then I'm going to move, once they're able to see my screen, then I move over to, I tell them, hey, the very first thing I like to do is take you to the main website for Terry Wilson 3. This is the corporate website. It's the website for the founder of Terry Wilson 3. And I did this just because I want you to see the type and quality of web pages that you'll be getting. And you can see here that Terry Wilson 3, he has, this is an area where he does podcasts and he shows certain types of projects that we have going in development. He highlights the different packages and their breakdowns. He also shows the different tools that are available in the different packages. It's nice to see them all in one spot. But then he also has examples of some of the income streams that you can get going side by side once you become a member with Terry Wilson 3. So I like taking people right there just in the very first quick introduction, and then I tell them, hey, I'm going to show you my web page. Just want to see you, have you see an example of the type of website that you get and you can build and have working for you with Terry Wilson 3. Here's my web page, and it has all the different things I'm doing with Terry Wilson 3, the different strategies I have going. It also has my side business that I use to get started with Terry Wilson 3 for marketing to businesses. And then I show them that website a little bit. And then, I mean, we're talking just 30 seconds for each website, or maybe a minute max, just to let them see the website. And then I say, so I want to get you back into, you're interested. Most of the time, I've already asked them, hey, what did you think about the videos? What's your interest? What do you think will fit with you? And I take about 3 minutes to have them tell me what they liked and what they're interested in, and then I segue into going back into the dashboard. Okay, the reason why I do this is where I'm going to jump into the script that you have in front of you. Okay, in the dashboard, the first place I take them, I tell them this is an example of the dashboard you're going to have behind your website that I just showed you. And the first place I take them is to the admin button, and then I go into the FAQ. And then when that pulls up, I scroll down to the different ways to onboard with Terry Wilson 3. And then you're right into the script. So that whole intro probably took maybe 6-7 minutes. It's just a nice smooth way to kind of get them seeing very high quality things about Terry Wilson 3, and segue into what they like, what they're interested in, and then show them the different levels: the affiliate member, the sales rep and trainer member, the plus member, the elite member level, and then the way they get paid, and start there and just dive into the script. While I'm in the script, I will almost always talk about, I'll go through each thing like it says to do in the script. I will always go and talk a little bit about the blog, just like the script does, okay? And when I talk about the blog, I will show them my blog, okay? I'll just quickly, for 10 seconds, take them and show them my blog and say, hey, this is my blog. Here's the example. Terry Wilson 3 will help provide content for this blog. And then I'm also developing other blogs for sports, blogs for news, because a lot of people are interested in those things, and I'm interested in those things. And then I will tell them, I will go to the all top page and describe how they can get top articles from top websites. They're going to attract absolutely tons of people to their website with the click of a button using the Blog Curator software. And I talk about how powerful that is, and I ask them, is this the type of thing that you think would be powerful for you to use? Can you see how this might be powerful in your business or whatever it is you're doing? And I get them to say, oh, yeah, I really like this. I think this is fantastic. Okay. And then I go back to the dashboard, and I keep going down the list. I start getting into the Plus membership, and I go into the RMP system. And when I'm talking about the RMP system, I take them into Terry Wilson's page, and I go down to the portion that has those videos that are examples of income streams from the RMP system. And I say, look, these are just examples. There are probably 40, 50, 60 different strategies at any one time, but these are just a few of the more prominent ones. For example, let's talk about this one: how to make $500 a day promoting loans for people. All the instructions are here. I talk through it, and I make them, just talking through it is enough to usually get people very excited about having an extra stream of income coming in that they can do every day. And I get them, once again, I ask them, so what do you think about that? Does that look pretty powerful? Do you think you would use that? I'm asking them questions where they will say, yes, I really like that. And as I keep moving through, I'm asking questions. They're called tie downs. I ask questions where I'm getting them to say yes. So anyway, going back into following, continuing what I do when I do my presentations after I usually go into those several examples. And I'm not just talking about those examples. I'll quickly go through and talk about each one of the things in the list, but I highlight those two, the blog and the RMP, every time, give a little explanation. Those two seem to be very, very powerful at impressing the people when they're on the phone. Then I go into the elite member discuss a little bit about the podcasting. If I want to give them an example, I'll go to Terry Wilson's page again, show them the spot where he does his podcast and talk about how many leads that drives. Then I'll switch back into the Elite once again, where I'm wrapping up the discussion about the levels, and I'll talk really quickly about auto scheduling and how powerful that can be for, say, an insurance business using all their agents. And then I also definitely cover training and support. Okay, I'll go to the dashboard again and emphasize using my own experience about how they helped me fix my button with PayPal. I'll go into the training. I'll show the different pathways for the different sign-ons really quickly, and say, hey, these are the training videos, the steps you'll take. You just do it one by one. If you have problems and you come down here, you either call me or the person who signed you up, because they're your doorway to help. But a lot of times you'll be coming here to the support ticket. You'll be creating a ticket specifically talking about, telling what your problem is. Within a few hours, the support team should get back with you and tell you exactly where to go find the answers. And then I share the story that I had a problem. I couldn't understand what after they told me where to go in the videos to get the answer on how to fix the problem with my PayPal button on my website, I still couldn't figure it out. I texted them back again, or I messaged them back again. They created an absolutely brand new tailored video specifically for my PayPal button problem on my website, sent it to me. I still had a hard time getting it solved, and so they ended up calling me, walking me through it to make sure it got fixed. And even when it was done on my website, then they were willing to help me on another website that had the exact same problem. So that's the level of support and training that people get. I always emphasize that in the conversation to make them feel like they're going to be supported, they're going to have the help, because this whole thing can be like putting your mouth around a fire hydrant, and they can be looking at this with a little bit of intimidation. And when you give this example, or when you give an example that you may have about the level of training and support that you get, it really can make them feel better. And so then I, continuing on, with the presentation, I go back into the dashboard and I talk about the different ways you can onboard. Actually, there's no real spot for this, so I just talk to them about being able to onboard with PayPal, paying with a credit card, or with other loan options if they have poor or slow credit. And then at the end, I ask them, so how do you feel about this? What are the strategies you think you could use? And I hear the excitement in their voice. And then I say, so how do you want to take the next steps to move forward? Do you want to start as a Plus member? Do you want to start as a sales rep and trainer? Or however you want to start, let's start taking some steps. And then I get them moving.